Hey everyone, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I think we're
Yay.
in. Give it a couple
Yes.
seconds, but I think it looks good. Looks like we are up and running.
Yes, it does. And as people come in, if you can let us know if you can hear us, that'd be great. Or if you can see us, if you can hear us.
Yeah, and let us know how the sound is, particularly on my end, because I often have some sound challenges. So if my voice drops at all, you guys and or whoever's here, just let me know, and I will speak up and move closer. Okay.
Hey,
Jedak, thank you. You can hear me, but I'm much quieter than Kim. Now, why is that?
could be
Let
just
me
the
see if I
mic.
can. You just think it's my mic? What if I just turn?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna turn my sound way up, and let's see if that helps. Except I'll have Kim really loud in my ear. See?
oh, I don't
She's
want to
telling
startle
me.
you. Maybe when you have your setting on your StreamYard for audio, which setting is it on for the mic? Is it like through your computer or is it through a webcam? Because maybe just messing with that setting could change it
Okay, so I
versus
go down
turning
to
it
the
up so I don't
settings.
startle you. Oh my
Okay, so I
god.
go to settings, audio. It's set on my
Mhm.
internal mic.
Oh, okay. Is there another option for you with audio?
I I think we decided that that was the best run. Although, well, wait. Okay, no. I'm gonna switch it. You tell me. I'm gonna switch it to my headset. Maybe that's. Okay, how is the sound now, you guys? Is that better?
I can hear you. I realized too after it was mentioned that I'm like, oh yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me now? Good.
Yeah. Yes, Jedek says much better.
Okay, okay.
Hey,
That was my bad. Sorry, you guys. I have a headset on and I didn't check it again. Okay,
that's all.
yay!
Thank you, Jedek.
Welcome. So
No,
many is here. We got
like,
we got Donna Riedler, we got Ange from Roots and Wings. And we got
yes.
Barbara Berkman, much saying much better. Welcome, Barbara.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. So this is our ongoing series that Kim and I have been doing for a while now. I don't know, is it like it's more than a year, I think.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
feel like a year and a half. Yeah, it's been a
Wow.
bit, but we've had
Yeah.
gaps. We've been
Yeah, we
living
had some
life.
big gaps. We had some
Yes.
big gaps.
So
So
that's
well,
okay.
yeah. So welcome back to Artistry of Cartomancy, our ongoing series where we just talk about a whole host of topics that relate to those of us who identify as cartomancers, card readers, whether professional or for yourself. And we just like to get into it. We like to talk about, what's on our minds, all the art of it, the ins and outs, the things you can't really like learn out of a book. That's really what I'm about. Like I want to have these live discussions with all of you who
Mhm.
are out there in the world really doing this work, and we're just sharing information with each other. That's why this platform is so great. So
Yes.
today, I'm sure you saw our topic is create sacred and safe space zones. And I'm sure all of you can imagine why we're talking about this topic right now. We feel like it's just really timely, especially for those of us who either are living in the US and or are Americans,
Or yeah, adjacent, adjacent
or
American.
adjacent, right? And so just like full disclosure, I speak for myself, but so I born and raised American, and as of a few months ago, I'm now living full time in Canada. And Kim,
Mhm.
also
Yes, I also
American, but
American.
living
Yes.
abroad, right?
Hmm. Living abroad since January of 2021. Yeah.
Right. So she's been away longer than I have.
Yes.
Um, but as we all know, just to sort of state the obvious, we're not going to get all into the weeds of the politics. It's not about that, but we have to just say what we all know. Anybody who is watching the news, that's going on. The United States is going through a very critical moment right now.
Yes.
And if you are a cartomancer, I'm kind of making the assumption here that you're also highly spiritual. And those of us who are highly, very much devoted to a spiritual path, we almost always tend to be highly sensitive people, at least, and often
Yes.
empaths. And
Yes.
so the energetics of what is happening in America, whether you're American or not, is very intense, and it's affecting all of us. And so the purpose of this show is to talk about just the basics, like 101, how to take care of yourself, look after yourself right now, then look after your clients and your loved ones, because it's critically important. Okay.
Yes.
Kim, what do you want to say about that?
Yes. I mean, we are all probably those who are called to watch these types of videos are part of our series. You're probably enlightened, you're an empath. With being an empath and then a healer or a reader, it comes with the territory that you're absorbing a lot just by living, just by being. And then you're taking on, you know, doing readings for others or doing spiritual workings for others. And it can be a lot on your system. We are human beings. We yes, we are magical, but we are human beings. And it is vitally important during these times that we show up and we help, but we have to also tend to ourselves first. It's like, when you're the airplane and then the oxygen masks come down, and
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, has to it fix the oxygen first to themselves
First.
and then the child. It's the same type of understanding, in my opinion. So that's what
Hmm.
I say in opening on this
Yeah.
discussion. Yes.
Yeah. So we want to give you some really practical tips for how to do that. Like I'm sure we all know, what we've just said to you, you all know, right? So we are going to get right down to it, because this is the time for all of us, who we got to walk our own talk, like
Hmm.
day by day and sometimes hour by hour. Like it's very easy to get dysregulated, right? That's what we
Hmm.
call it in the more kind of mind body holistic health field. We've got to be super attuned to our nervous systems,
Right.
our little body's physical nervous systems, because that's what's getting taxed right now. All we have to do is like even go on YouTube to watch a little tarot tube, which like I like to just unwind, but in my news feed, in a second, I think I'll just skim the headlines and I see things that can trigger my nervous system, that can upset me, that can begin to make my heart beat a little faster, begin to make me hold my breath, begin to make me worry, begin to make me
That's right.
angry, right? So we're going to give
True.
you tips for monitoring all that, because this is our work right now. And we have to be doing it first for ourselves so that we can show up for everybody else in our lives, because people are looking to us. I'm so aware of that right now. You just go to the store, you bump into somebody, people know who you are, what you do.
It's
Everyone is
true.
on edge and they're looking to you. Whether they identify as energetic types, they're on some level they're reading your energy. They're looking to see, how are you doing? How are you managing all of this? So just like I have a sense of that, Kim. I don't know about you, but I've had some encounters, this week, and like it's a real reminder, like take yourself seriously. People, we're all
Yes.
holding each other together right now. We're holding each other up, right?
Right. We are. I mean, I haven't really, to be frank, I haven't really been going out much. I think that I've the hermit, we're all collectively in the hermit year, and I'm especially sensitive to it because I am a professional reader. So the last few weeks, it's been since probably mid-January. I haven't really left the house except for a couple of times. Yeah, I work from home, and so that's not too hard to do. But I just felt this need to cocoon because I have to show up daily for clients. And there's a bombardment of a lot of information coming at us. Doesn't mean that we should not look at the information and stay informed, but there is a balance, especially if you're called to do the spiritual work. It will gut you in mind, body, and spirit if you just deplete yourself. You know, we're talking today about creating sacred and safe space zones, but the sacred and safe space zone starts with us.
That's
When
right.
we, it starts with us. You are on sacred ground where you stand. And so it's about your body being a spiritual temple. So you can be, it's like you could be anywhere and be able to heal and help others. So a lot of what we're talking about today, right, Donna, is about that the sacred and safe zone starting from you and then emanating out. And then you're being grounded, you're being in your own safe zone, taking care of you. Because that's important,
Absolutely. Yeah.
super important. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are our own, like we have the ability to shift energy wherever we go. So if we
Yeah.
are minding our body first, our breath, our nervous system, we can walk into a room, a store, a live like this, those of you in the
Mm-hmm.
chat, we can shift energy. We have the ability to do that. And we can hold safe space for people. If we just
Mm-hmm.
constantly affirm, this is my intention. No matter what goes down here in the next few days, weeks, months, we're holding safe space. That's my intent, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping my eyes set on the highest good for all. I can't know what that is, what that's going to look like.
Right.
Even as a seer, people are looking to us as seers. If they know, oh, like my name, Artist and Oracles, right? I post things on my private Facebook page, my neighbors know, oh wow, that's what she's doing. So they're
What
looking
do
to
you
us as,
see?
yeah,
Yeah.
what do
Like,
you see? Literally, people want to know, what do you see right now? Well,
yeah,
you know so that's a whole other, like
that
that's
is.
that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other topic for another show soon.
Yeah.
What do we
but
see?
what
What do
i
you,
uh,
yeah.
but where I'm going to start with that, what I'll tell you, what I see is, I see that we all need to come together. I see
Yes.
way too much division. I
Yeah.
see way too much name calling, way
Mm-hmm.
too much adults acting like children, not
Hmm.
taking the seriousness. This is a serious moment in world history. The
Yeah.
whole world is looking to the United States.
Yeah.
So we need all healthy, mature adults on deck.
For
And
real.
what I also see is that we all need to play our position. In sports, you call it play your position. And in the theater, because I'm a theater girl, it's called
Yes.
you play your part. What
Yes.
is your part to play?
Right.
Sometimes you're the leading lady, and sometimes you're in the chorus.
That's
But
right.
no matter where you are, you play your part and you play it well, and you
Mm-hmm.
support whoever is in the lead.
That's
So
right.
I'm just a chorus member. I'm just a part of a huge chorus of people, of light workers, of people who believe in truth
That's
and
right.
goodness and taking care of humanity. And I'm here playing my part as an
That's
artist
right.
and an oracle. And I'm going to share with you my 30 years, Kim, too, of just tips that I know how to do that, how to look after yourself and those you love right now.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I love what you're saying. It's what is mine to do. I remember when I was going to a spiritual center in Sacramento, West Sacramento. There, it was like a question: what is mine to do? What is theirs to do? Once you're very clear about that, you can like really clear out all the noise and you can be focused, because what is yours to do? Sometimes it's nothing. It's nothing over here. Sometimes it's something else. So I just think that during these stressful times, it is so vitally important that you're taking care of yourselves. And you're like, well, why? Well, you know how you always hear psychics say, oh, I want my clients to not feel judged. Okay, that's a great thing to look up to. But when you, as a psychic or tarot reader, are depleted and not firing on all pistons, and your brain is like all over the place, your emotional state is all over the place, your physical well-being is off, you're not going to be able to show up, and you probably are going to be not your best self and judgy and not feeling so judgment-free zone. There's a reason, that I'm talking about and harping on it, because it's for both of your greater good. You, the healer, and the person that is being healed, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and those of us who I don't want to say, I was going to say have the luxury. It's not really luxury, but those of us who work from home are
Hmm.
not like on the front lines of whatever's going on right now. I just think of
True.
anybody working in DC, working in the government right now, working for the,
Mm.
that's some hard stuff they're going through. They're under a lot of stress. So for those of us who can control our schedules, who can look after our bodies, keep a regular schedule, keep eating well and, eating good
Right.
food and taking breaks and going outside and getting some fresh air. We totally need to do that. Like us doing that is actually helping the greater cause, right? There's
True.
no point of us getting like drawn into every little, news update and drama that goes on. We don't need to do that. That's not ours to do,
That's
right?
right.
By
That's
looking
right.
after ourselves, we're actually, energetically and in terms of spiritual law that we know and we've studied, when we look after ourselves, we are looking after everybody else. Like
Right.
that's actually helping the cause, helping the
Exactly.
cause.
And we can help a lot more people coming from that frequency, that higher vibrational frequency than, oh, let me just sit up on here and scroll all day through all of the videos and all of the, just negativity. You would probably be best served to meditate and ask for the universe to plant something inside of you of like, what's my next inspired action to take, whatever it is that you're endeavoring on. Maybe it's an activist cause, maybe it's your business, maybe it's going back to school. What is my next step? Lead me, give me direction. You'd be best served cultivating your sacred space, sacred zone, than spending minutes and hours each day just getting angrier and angrier. And I just don't know how people do it as professional readers. I don't know how. I cannot. I only can do so many hours per day of readings. I only can watch so much content. I just don't know. And I've maybe some of you all can enlighten me. How many readings do you normally do per day? How many days a week do you work? Do you also show up in the world like with, a lot of social media posts? And what does that look like for you? Because for me, it would be too much for my system. You talk about the nervous system, which,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, so it's really about knowing ourselves right now, knowing our own bodies, what our own bodies need. And again,
yes,
what is your part? What is your position to do right now? Because we all, no matter what our beliefs or whatever, right? We all want to help, right? We all want to be involved. And
yes,
so
I do.
the first thing on my list, let's get to our list, is to stay grounded. Really, a lot of what we've just spoken about is all about staying grounded, right?
Yes,
As the energy is spiraling and events are unfolding, and we don't know what's going to happen here. No one knows. No one knows. Even the best readers and stuff, nobody knows what's going on. There's a whole lot of free will involved. There's a whole lot of things we have no idea happening
sure.
behind the scenes. So I'm not going there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't go there. I want to help. And so the way to help is to stay grounded, to hold the highest thought that whatever transpires is going to be for the highest good eventually. It may take some time. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, I'm going to stay grounded. So literally, I'm uncrossing my ankles were crossed. I'm uncrossing my ankles right now. I'm feeling my feet flat on the floor,
Hmm.
connecting in. Straighten your spine when you can. Just anchor down into the earth. Let the earth hold you right now. Ask Gaia to support you. Just say, help. My head is spinning. I need to ground. Pull the energy down to your feet.
Mm.
And then you can place a hand on your lower belly.
I love that.
And I like to place my other hand up here on my, on my chest, and just feel your breath, breathe, come back to the body. Know that you are here right now,
Mm-hmm.
right here, right now. You are safe. You are held. You have the ability to ground and center and calm yourself. So it all comes back to that. That is just really where it all begins. We have to
Yes.
stay grounded,
Yes.
stay in the body, because we get way, way, way up high in the chakras. I should know, Kim too. We're air signs.
Yes.
I'm a double air sign. I like to live
Yes.
in my head, and I have to bring it back down. I gotta call on my my earth energy, my
Yeah.
Virgo. I got a lot of Virgo in me, and just to stay grounded and practical.
Right. For sure. For sure. It's like that was beautiful what you took us through. Just like, right. It's just that's also how simple it can be to drop
Mhm.
and anchor and ground. Um, if you don't have a meditative practice, a breathing practice, I strongly suggest you adopt one and make it a part of your daily practice. It does not have, it could be just like that. Not like, yeah, you could do 15, 20, 30 minutes if you got the time, but most of us don't. Maybe a few minutes each day.
Yeah.
I aim for at least 7 to 10 minutes at the start of my day and as needed between readings. Between readings, if I'm doing, let's say I have a full day of readings, whether it's on the hotlines or Etsy or private clients, I usually do about like, let's say 4. In between that, I like moments where I can just kind of ground my energy. Like I have to have like little breaks in between them. Even on the hotlines, I have to turn it off, ground myself, get myself in order. That's me though. Everybody's different. Like you mentioned, Donna, everybody's different. They have their own rhythm. Some people could do 15 readings in a day. Not me. I always say, like, that ain't me. But, but
Mhm.
breaks, meditation, breathing practices, grounding, um, making that a part of your rituals. And also, Um, Auntie Kay had mentioned, Auntie Kay, you all know, our YouTube friend and Play Sleep member. She mentioned about how she is part of her practice to sweep her office space or where she does her readings and cleanse on a consistent basis, clearing out that, the energies of the readings and workings before, and also for me, I would imagine stagnant energy, cleaning it out, dusting when you need to, just your physical space as well. Here, your physical space, your emotional body, and you're going to be triggered from time to time.
Yeah,
But what we're doing
for
is
sure.
helping, what we're talking about is having a foundation of building up a fortified mind, body, and spirit alignment so that way when things happen to you, you get sick, you get triggered, you fall, you're not going to fall all the way off into a burnout. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to take the night off. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to keep going.
So that you can shift the energy, your own energy, whatever comes up for you, to just
Right.
be reminded you have the tools to do that. I'm sure you all have them. If not, we're going to teach you a bunch today. We're going to remind you of ones in your toolkit, maybe at the bottom, and you got to, you know, dust those off, because
Yes.
you've got them. You've got them. If you're
Right.
here, chances are you've got them. You've done some work, you've done some study, you
Probably
know.
so.
So this is the time. This is what we have all been putting in all these hours, and like, is to use what we've been learning. This is like
True.
where the rubber meets the mat. And Kim was just talking about spiritual practice, talking about meditation, and it occurred to me I wanted to jump in and share that so we all, I'm sure, most of you, right, you have some kind of meditation practice. Like for me, it's meditation and yoga. Sometimes, though, especially times like this when things are stressed and moving fast, I have to kind of trick myself into it. So here's what I recommend right now. Like, my meditation is usually often in bed first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. I am in Canada. It is cold. Okay. It was 7 degrees Fahrenheit this morning when
Yikes.
I got up to use the bathroom. Okay. That is cold, right? So my meditation has been happening in bed under the covers. Totally fine. Better that than no
Absolutely.
meditation at all. Okay.
Yes.
Just claim it, be
The
conscious
best.
about it,
Yes.
then I have to do yoga later in the day than I usually like, because I gotta let the heat kick in and things warm up.
Warm up the house.
And
Yes.
even still, I can be like, it's too cold, I can't get on the mat, it's too cold. So I trick myself, I literally consciously trick myself, and I say, I'll just do 5 minutes, because I
Yes.
know that once I get my butt on the mat and I start to stretch, it feels so good, I will be there longer than 5 minutes. I'll
Yes.
probably be there 15 or 20.
Yep.
So do whatever you need to do. Just tell yourself, I'm just gonna lie down there for 5 minutes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let myself meditate in bed. Like, find ways, but go back to your practice.
Yes.
Use your practice, claim your practice, right?
Yeah. Like be very disciplined about it. We're not just saying this like, oh, we're, holier than thou. Like, no, there's some areas that I know that I need to work on and I'm planning on working on. But you know how like actors or models, they are like what is it, the commodity. So they have to always invest in their physical being or like their acting skills. They have to invest in themselves. We're in a way similar where we are showing up to help others. And so we have to invest in ourselves. You just have to. But I am not always showing up as my best self with movement. I could use more exercise. I've fallen off. And it's my goal. I turn 45 next week. It's my goal to get back into my little fitness routine. And because I know how important it is to keep my physical body up as I'm doing a lot of readings. And I want to do readings. You want to do, you want to help others. It may not just be readings, you want to show up for others,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to show up in our most healthy way. Um, Keep your immune systems up, right? And
Yeah.
just like everybody who has a favorite routine, you can start to cultivate your favorite routine that feels good and easy each day. Ask any professional reader who's been doing it a long time. They'll probably tell you, like, you've got to do it. I know it sounds boring. It's not glamorous. It's not the magical woo woo topic, but it's super important because it helps you to have a clear mind for setting energetic boundaries, creativity, on how to help people. Um, you are what is it, a conduit. So, you're able to more easily have things flow in a healthy body. So we're
Yeah.
not just, just blowing smoke up your butt.
No, no, we're talking real stuff here. And we're still on the physical body. We're going to move on to the home soon. But I think one last thing that I would add, and we'll see what Kim is thinking. But like, when I think physical body, I think emotions, right? So this is a highly emotional time, a highly charged
Yes,
time right now.
for sure.
And my best advice about all of that is to um, feel your emotions, but don't get stuck in any one. It's so easy to get stuck in whatever, if it's outrage or fear. People are commenting in the chat lately, they've been feeling anxious. I too, I've been feeling anxious.
For sure.
Someone else is saying, she feels like she's too sensitive for all of this. I definitely have days, where I'm like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, really? What am I really signed up for that? But we're here. Clearly,
Right.
we are,
For sure.
so we just, but acknowledge that. So it's just good to acknowledge, like, okay, I'm having a really, overstimulated, sensitive kind of day. Feel the emotion, so that let it flow through, so you don't get
Yes,
stuck in it.
exactly.
Right.
And I just, to that end, and we, like you said, we'll move on. I just, like the last couple of weeks, I haven't been working as hard, like with readings or doing readings for others. I've been, the last few nights, I'm like, I just need to take the day off and I just shuffle. Another grounding, fun, simple thing to do is just shuffle. Not for anything in particular. Just, I know some people have different beliefs about that. I believe it's completely okay to shuffle your deck for eons. I don't care.
Totally. Yeah.
But you listen to what we'll lastly leave with is listen to your body. Like, what does it need? Does it need to go to sleep tonight early? Does it need just mindless shuffling? Does it need a walk? Does it need
Mm-hmm.
you to put the phone down? What does it need? And maybe you also, if you're a professional reader, maybe you just hang up your clothes sign on your shingle, if you will, for a couple of nights. It's not gonna, if you got to start saving your money so that way you can take a breather if you need to. You don't feel like I gotta be on here, or I gotta do this, I gotta make this
Mm-hmm.
money. No, you got to take care of yourself. You are the commodity, my friend. I hate to break it to you. You're the commodity, you know. So
Yeah. The
that's what
body, the
I'll
whole
say.
body as a reader, right? Is your
Yes.
instrument. It's not just your cards and your knowledge of tarot, oracle, whatever. It's this whole sensitive vessel
Right.
that
Absolutely.
that creates the magic and responds to the energy of whoever you're with and trying to help. So
For
yeah,
sure.
that's what we're urging for you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's go on to the home.
Hmm.
This is one of my favorite topics. Some of you may know. So for a long time, my spiritual work in the world was I was a feng shui consultant, and I went into people's homes and helped them uh, create sacred space in their home. I also did space clearings where I would show up and do ceremony and clear energy in people's homes with them. So this is like near and dear to me. I am all about the home as sacred space. Could be your office too, for sure, right? Just the buildings that we inhabit, that we work in, right? Making them sacred, keeping them sacred. It can be as sacred as any church, any temple, any mosque, any synagogue. They
Yes.
absolutely can be that sacred if you tend them and you set your intention that way. And
That's right.
so this is the time for that. This is the time to work with the energies of your space. Let
Hmm.
them nurture you, sustain you, help you feel safe. Those of us who have altars in their house. I mean, I have an altar in every room in my house, just about. This is a time to tend your altars, maybe reset your altars, re-anchor them, work with those energies, show up at them,
Hmm.
take them seriously. I'll totally out myself, speak for myself. I have altars and then I can kind of forget about them, just sort of like they become almost decorative. And I have to remind myself,
Yes.
this is no
Hmm.
decorative thing I got going on here. Like, this is a real spiritual, you know, tool, even, a being that I believe holds energy and space for me. But you have to commune with it. You have to show up and tend it,
True.
right? We could do a whole show on that, a whole other
It's
show.
true.
But I'm
Right.
speaking general. I'm assuming there's a whole bunch of things that you understand, believe, accept. But I'm just reminding you to go to your altars, tend your
Right.
altars.
Tend to your altars. Thank you for that reminder too. Tend, they're not just pretty things. They can be, I guess. Some people can have beautiful altars, and it's just because it feeds their soul to look at a beautiful objects in one space. But many of us who are in this environment, in our collective here who watch this video, probably have a spiritual tug to why they created the altar. So I love that, Donna. I love that so much that you're like, reminder, tend to it, because it's spiritual nourishment. And especially in your reading space, like tending to it, being very intentional about what you put on your altar, cleaning it, keeping it regularly cleaned and cleansed, um, taking off what no longer belongs. It's symbolic of how we tend to our life spiritually in the everyday too. It's like, I don't know. I think it's important. Um, I have a little office space. I cherish it. It was the
Mm.
one thing I insisted on when we built here. I had to have a space just designated for if a client happened to come in. I now don't really want clients coming in. I like doing all of my readings virtually, or I go to them. But I thought at the time, but in that, I was like, I want it white and I want it, like it just I don't know. I had this feel. And so you get excited, friends, get excited. Even if you only have a corner in your apartment. That was me at one time, just a little corner. It's your sacred space. You put the little lush little pillow in the corner, some shelving. You're good. You
Yeah,
got it.
you've claimed it. It's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So show
But
up there and
you
and
show up.
tend it. Tend
Yeah,
it.
tend to it. Yeah,
And
and love it.
take it I'm going to keep saying, like, take your work seriously. This is the time
Yes.
to take your work seriously.
We need you.
It's you are totally needed. All hands on
Yes.
deck. All hands on deck playing your part. Even
Right.
if you're just it's you in your house, whatever, with your decks, doing your own, communing, doing your own readings. That's work. It's needed. It's helping the greater good.
It is. One person at a time, or a few people. Maybe you do group readings, or you're teaching, or you're informing, or you're having healing Reiki sessions, or whatever. Your work is so needed. Everybody, all hands on deck, like Donna says. Everybody, all hands on deck. And the beauty of it is you get to show up with the gifts that you have already innately inside of you. You don't have to go and learn and do all this extra stuff. No, you show up as you are, but you got to tap in. And part of your, tapping in is spending time at your altar space, or praying, or meditating, or, meditative walks. But you, tend to your little space. Don't think it's not important. Now, some people's like, you know what, I can do cards in the car. But that could be sacred space too.
Hmm.
You can have it.
Keep the car sacred. Okay, we're
Yes,
gonna do in
keep
the
the
car.
car sacred.
Go to the car wash every once in a while or something.
You can keep
No, I
it.
love that. Listen, I keep decks in my trunk because hey, you
Yeah,
never know.
in the
You're out,
consoles. Yes,
you're driving around.
the
Like I
cloth.
just, yep, yep.
Yes. I
So
love when I, walk by someone's car, and you could see maybe by their bumper sticker or what they've got hanging on the mirror, the rear view mirror, and you could just almost smell like the incense coming in. You can see it's all fantastical, like seat coverings on the inside, and they're like, oh, that person's probably one of us. Like,
yeah,
tell it's got peace signs everywhere. I'm like, I can smell the patchouli as I walk by this
yeah.
car.
Speaking of which, that's on my list under home
Yeah,
fragrance. This is
fragrant.
a great time to work with fragrance, right? It's so
For
powerful.
sure.
It's such
For
a
sure.
powerful way to shift the energy, to calm yourself down, whatever that means for you. If you're an essential oil person, or you're into incense, or
Yeah.
both, like,
Yes.
remember to use that. And
For sure.
you can
Sure.
smudge yourself, get a little incense
Oh, yes.
before you come, sit down. Like, I cleared my whole room here. I was having a day. We had a delivery, didn't go so well. It's icy. Kim heard the whole story. Came
Mhm.
flying into my office in the nick of time. I was like, I need to smudge myself. So I, just lit
I
the
know.
incense, went around my body, under your feet. Makes a huge
Yes.
difference. Shift the energy. Shift
For
the energy.
sure.
Yeah.
I have loved essential oils for so long. I've been that diffuser gal, at the diffuser. I have it here. I just don't use it. I use mostly incense at this stage, or I make my own sprays. In this one, for
Praise.
example, it has lavender, white sage, and Palo Santo essential oils. In this one,
Mm.
I'm going to need to make more. I love Florida water. Um, I spray it before and after readings, and I don't spray it all the time, but just kind of to shift the energies. I have a
Yeah.
lemon and like a citrusy kind of spray I've made with essential oils. I love me some essential oils. Candles, scented candles. I know they're not the greatest thing for us, but I do like them. If you can't get your hands on some incense or some essential oils, there are scented candles. But we want the senses lit. We
Yeah.
want to, that definitely
Absolutely.
is an instant. Or you go get some natural. If you live in an area with flowers, not the desert, but
Hmm.
flowers, you could, have a bouquet of flowers that are fragrant. Just that helps. I love it. I love
Yeah,
essential oils.
I love essential oils too. I like a drop or two in the bathtub. Those of us who
Mm-hmm.
have the luxury, you have the luxury of having a bathtub in your home right now. I suggest you use it. Get in there.
Gosh, yes.
Get in there. Let the water work on you. Release into the water whatever you don't want, like
Yes.
whatever's
Yes.
upsetting you. Just literally get in there with your
Mm.
hands, talk to the water, say, please take this off me, take this from me. Thank you. I assume it's doing it.
Goes,
Thank you for taking this from me.
I
Please
can see it
return
going
this.
naturally. Yes.
Yeah. Return this back to
Return
the
this.
earth. Recycle for me.
You can
So
envision.
powerful.
So powerful. You can envision it as it goes down the drain. I insisted on having a bathtub here. They thought I was crazy. Like, nobody gets bathtubs around here. I'm like, I do. I need a bathtub. And I was
That's my
bummed
girl. That's
when
my
I
girl.
injured. Yeah, I was like, I don't care. And they had to ship it from like some other part of the island. I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't. That it makes me super American. I know it does. It's so bad, but I love it. And I was sad when I couldn't get in there because of my wound when I fell. And I was like so sad, and all I could do was take showers. I'm like, oh, I miss my bathtub. So, friends, if you have a tub, don't just get in that
Use it.
stuck in that shower loop.
Right.
Tomorrow night, it's Friday night. Get you a nice little bubble bath going. Come on,
That's right.
come on.
That's right.
Like,
Use it. That's such a luxury.
use it. It's a
Billions of
luxury.
people around the world don't have that luxury.
They do
Now is the
not.
time to use it and use it as a tool. It is a healing
Yes,
tool. It can help you.
for
So
sure.
we definitely recommend that. Okay,
Yes.
I think that's what that's what I have on my home list. Just and
Yeah,
overall, what we're talking about here is we're talking about the vibe of your home. Tend the vibe of your home in little ways and big ways. Just always be mindful of like what is the vibe? Keep the vibe high in your home.
that's right.
Find ways to anchor the energy, guard the energy, protect the energy of your home so that
Mhm.
it stays sacred and that it can keep you well, keep you balanced, keep you safe.
For sure. And
Yeah.
feeling safe. As a lot of times, you know, it can be challenging, especially those of us who are anxiety prone, like who have been officially like diagnosed with anxiety, conditions. Um, your sanctuary is your home. So again, even if you have roommates, you can find a little nook to make it your sanctuary. It's so vitally important. When I was living in the States, I had this like overstuffed chair that I would go to when I'd have panic attacks. And then I would do the countdowns to get through and drink some tea and calm myself. And it's just this overstuffed old chair, but that place felt like sacred to me too. So, you know, it's not just sacred zone for your other peeps, it's for you. That's what we're talking
Hmm.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
I thought of one more thing. I didn't put on my
Mhm.
list, but crystals, those of us,
Yes. Oh my
us crystal people, us
God.
card people tend to
Yes.
be crystal people. I got my whole little altar right here in front of me. I'm clutching them as we talk. So,
Yes.
work with your stones, right? Show up,
Yes.
pick them up, get them in your hands.
Yes.
Use them. If we have them, and then
For sure.
maybe we forget to use them from time to time. Now, I have them all around the house, and I have them programmed. They have jobs. So, like, I have
Mm-hmm.
crystals at the back door, which is really the front door here, right? Like, and I just from time to time just go remind them, like, okay, how you doing? Do you need to be cleared? But like remind them what their job is. Just like what we're
I love
trying to
my
say to you right now. We're reminding all of us, we have a
what is
job to
theirs
do
to
right now
do?
because they want to help. They want to be of service,
That's
so
true.
check in with them. If you have crystal grids around your house, check on them right now. Make sure they're
Yes.
good and clear and activated. Maybe clear them out and reset them. Now is a really good time for that.
Yes, it is.
Take your
Yes,
protection seriously right now, those of us who are light workers. It's
please.
important.
Very important. Which reminds me, I will be in the comment section posting a book recommendation, and it's basically about protecting energy here. Let me see. I'll put it in the chat too, but I think you all, could benefit
Awesome.
from it. It's called Protect Your Light, a practical guide to energy protection, cleansing, and cutting cords by George Lizos. So I'll put that in the chat, and I'll also put it in the comment section once we're done. But it's a really good book. I have it on Kindle, and it's like all sort of crystals, cord cutting, all the things we're talking about today. There's a chapter on it. Everything we're talking about today. It's a good book, a good handy resource. So I'll do that.
Awesome. Hey, so while we're doing book recommendations, I'll make two. Both written by the same person,
Mm-hmm.
Denise Lynn. So
Oh,
most of
I
what
love
I
Denise Lynn.
know, our beloved Denise Lynn, right? And she's the author of multiple decks too, so a lot of people know her. Hay House author. Most of what I know about sacred space
Mm-hmm.
and feng shui and space clearing, I learned from Denise Lynn many years ago, and I had the wonderful honor of training with her in person in her home. So
Oh, wow.
two great books on that topic. Sacred Space. She literally wrote the book titled Sacred Space. To me, she was the first person I ever heard using that term. And that
Mm-hmm.
was probably 20 years ago now. So Sacred Space. And then recently, a couple years ago, she wrote a book called Energy Strands. I'm pretty sure it's
Oh,
behind me.
I love that book. I have it. It's on my, got it.
It
I had
sounds
it
like
in.
it's similar to the one that Kim just recommended. It's like everything, all things energetic. So if you're looking for a primer, we've just given you two really good energy primers. If you're new to the
Yes.
work, right,
Right.
check these books out. Here,
Yes.
I'll put energy strands in the
Oh,
chat too.
I put it in there too in the
Awesome.
chat.
Okay, Kim's
Book
got it.
recommendations. So
Yeah.
yes, y'all check it out. I need to check out her Sacred Space, but I for sure read her Energy Strands book, and it's really good. I had the physical copy and the digital copy. So
Cool. Cool
yes.
beans. Okay. I think that's good for home. Should we go on to work?
Yes.
You know,
All work.
we've already Kim's been talking more than me, but we've covered a lot about work, assuming that we've been talking cartomancy work, right? And we're assuming that a
True.
lot of you are, cartomancers are here or identify as that, or you're on your path to that or whatever. Um, so any of the things that we've been saying can apply to any other type of work that you do in the world.
True.
Maybe some of you, you working in both worlds, right? You're out there in the 9 to 5. God love
That's
you. That's awesome.
yes. Ah,
And then you're claiming your spiritual work too. So all these things apply. Find little ways to bring your spiritual work more to your 9 to 5 with you.
yeah.
Take a few moments. If you have to go into the bathroom, just I gotta go to the bathroom, go wash your hands and do it super consciously. Feel like I am
Yes.
stressed. Things are hard. Use the water, work with water, get it off
Yes.
you. But those
Yes.
kinds of things.
Rinse. That was
Um,
me. Working full time during the day and nighttime cartomancer and card extraordinaire. Oh my goodness. So
And look
yeah.
at her now, people. Now
Full
she's doing
time
it full
now. Yeah,
time.
exactly. Who would
She's
have thunk it?
doing it.
So yeah,
And
yeah.
not only doing it, she's mentoring many of us of how
Oh,
to make it our life's work too. So
thank you.
she's
Thank
our she's our she's our leader here. Check her out.
you.
Be
Oh,
sure to
thank
check
you.
her out. Yeah.
My peeps. So yeah,
Um,
work. Big topic.
so I think the only thing we haven't talked about already with work is to reach out to your colleagues now. Like
Yeah.
don't, you know what I mean? Like don't let yourself just be like all on your own. Who are your best peeps? Even if it's just little text during the day as things unfold or you get a little, just say, I've been checking on people and I've been checking on my American friends, just trying to
Yeah.
send texts. How are you doing? Even if you don't hear
That's
back from them, I'm noticing a lot of people are really quiet right now. And
I
actually,
know.
I'm like, my practice right now is to not take anything too personally
That's
with
right.
with anyone, whether it's
Right.
loved ones out in the world, little interactions, because everybody's going through their own stuff. Everybody's sort of like deep in their
True.
own stuff right now, being highly affected by what's going on in the world, not just the
True.
US. You know,
Everywhere.
there's a
Yeah.
lot going on right now, right? So,
Everywhere.
but keep reaching out. Like, don't let us not get even more divided or, siloed. Just keep reaching out to your people. Just check on people. Can be small, little ways, little text, little email.
Right.
Just send it. Even if you don't get a response, better to send it than to not do it, right?
For sure. They'll appreciate it. They'll get it and they'll appreciate it. And this is why it circles back to what the foundation that we talked about when we first opened. It's about making sure you're solid because when I wasn't really tending to myself, there's no way I could show up and even be in a space to even try to reach out to others. Now I can. Now I'm in a space I can hold space for my friends who are in the States. They've been reaching out more. Even one was like, I've always wanted to own land abroad. Really? Like you don't say.
Yeah,
Like
I've had a few of those too. Yeah.
so, but it's it's that being able to be there with colleagues too. I love how we talked about that. It's super important because as you do this work, sometimes you'll encounter things or feelings or burnout or symptoms of burnout. You don't know that there are symptoms of burnout, and your colleagues can identify it easily. Colleagues can show up in your physical world around you if you're blessed to have those communities near you, but also online, as we know. There are online groups that you can have a great camaraderie and with colleagues is super important. And going to conferences, tarot conferences or spiritual conferences when you can't always afford it, but when you can, um, outreach there. You can meet people and network there. So that's important. And you can learn also from people how they set up their sacred zones, right? We learn and grow together. That we're just like any other industry where you network and you forge relationships. That's how I benefited and how I help others. Why I find it so important to mentor others. So yeah, find
Yeah.
your community. And if you work on the hotlines, they may even have their own little advisor communities. But because sometimes you need somebody outside of that so you can vent. You can't always vent where you work. Like, you should be
Yeah.
venting in the break room at the work, like by the water cooler because somebody could hear and get fired. So
Mm.
don't want to do that.
But
Um,
finding someone to form closer bonds with,
yes,
is more what Kim is saying, right? So first you
yes,
start, this is great, like showing up on people's lives. That's how I got to know people in the tarot community.
yep,
It's how I met Kim and other people, right? We show up on each other's lives and be willing to say something in the chat, talk to people, recognize each
right
other when you
here.
come back, say hi to people when they come in. Hey, how are you doing? So that kind
Hmm.
of thing, and then keep working on that, keep developing that so that you can form a closer bond with people, so that you can get together and like talk to each other, share stories, right? I'm all about stories, right?
Yeah,
Talk, but also listen to people, share stories, listen to what's going on with
yeah,
people, try to
yeah,
weave in with them. Okay, they're talking about this, I'm having something similar. That's
for
how we
sure.
figure stuff out together, right? We have to
True.
be willing to really, you know, to reach out to people, to speak the truth, listen, and then share what's going on with us.
That's right. Even if you're an introvert, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. Some people are like, I don't believe it. I am. But like, and I still find it super important, just like in my past careers that I've had. I found it so very vitally important to have these type of relationships. It feels so good to know that you're not in it alone at the end of the day. And brainstorming or maybe nobody has any solutions but they can just say, man, that sucks. Like I wish I could hug you. That feels
Right.
good. You're not in it alone. Now more than ever before, there's more people coming out of the woo woo closet, and you're not alone. We just are now we're still trying to find our way to you know coming together, But I love this time. It's an exciting, this is a plus during this time in space, that we find ourselves in. That is the rise of the light worker or the empath and
Or the
the
or
introvert. Like
the or the dreaming women, right?
the
There's a whole
dreaming
nother
women.
new community
Yes.
that's been coming together that I've been being a part of, which has really
Eh,
helped me a lot. So
super
there are lots of
intriguing.
communities like this that are emerging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And not just on
cool.
Facebook, friends. I know a lot of people are like, I don't know about Facebook. Keep going, keep looking. Your peeps are around. We're here. We're all here. You found us on YouTube. So
YouTube, yep, lots of
yes.
places.
And to the end of work, I just want to say, remember to take breaks, take time off consistently if you can. Don't be like Kim, where I sometimes only get 1 day off a week. Take 2, 3 days off from readings and things of that nature if you can. Breaks in between readings, and try not to burn out. Take a vacation, take some time off. Remember to do that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
Cool.
yeah,
All right, are we good for? I think that's work.
that's work. That's what we got for
Okay.
work.
So topic number 4 I have here is personal relationships.
Mm,
So, our closest relationship, your spouse, your partner, your close relatives, whoever's, you're living with, children, friends, that kind of thing. What else should we cover about that? We've said some things. You have anything else, Kim, you're thinking on that topic?
mm, I would say, and we've touched. I guess we've weaved it in throughout because it is important to recognize that our days aren't just, unless you live by yourself and you or your family. You don't have family. Maybe you know you don't have friends. That could be somebody watching us. But most of us have some sort of external relationships at some point or another, and you get to decide how involved you want them into your life. Sometimes also, I've been blessed to have people generally supportive of the work that I do. They're curious at most. They're never, I mean, maybe they gossip behind my back, but they've been so lovely. And I know there's people in our community that isn't so blessed. So you don't also have to keep chasing after relationships that hurt you, nor do you have to, if you don't feel safe, or if you just kind of like in this political climate right now, you're just like, I don't have the bandwidth to even go beyond what I'm doing right now, then that's okay.
Hmm.
But when you are ready to do outreach, reach out to that cousin who's like you just love laughing with. Send a quick little funny meme or something like that. Your partners, if you have a partner, you got to prioritize the household relationships that you have, whether you have, children, a partner. You do have to
Pets.
prioritize that.
Could be
But
pets too.
pets for sure, for
Hmm.
sure. I mean, my Osita, she ain't gonna let me not prioritize her, my Rottweiler. She won't, but I love her. I would
Yeah, and
never.
pets are so critical right now. We are still catless, but hopefully soon we will have a new cat. But what I know from years of, most of my life living with a cat, their pets are so beautiful because they are little energy. They're like little what's the word I'm looking for? Like a guy, what is it? Geiger, like they're like a little energy. I'm
How do
thinking,
we describe
what
it?
is
A
that word?
little
Geiger counter? I can't think what the word is, but like,
like or
they're
not.
like the little canary in the coal mine. Like I could always tell the state of the energy of the home by what my,
Yes.
but because I've just been blessed to have super, super sensitive cats over the years. And I learned they really helped me. Yeah, I wonder why, right? But they taught me a lot about energy, and I learned to really like pay attention to what
Yeah.
was my energy, what was the energy between myself and my husband.
Yep.
They would just sort of tell me when like, hey, it's too stressed in here, and I'd realize like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
Pay
Yeah,
attention to that relationship right now, because pets do a lot for us, and
they really do. They
we
may
need to
just
give
sit
back.
there sometimes, but they're really doing a lot, like they really are.
Well,
So
they know their jobs and they take it really seriously. And their jobs, in my opinion, is to look after us. They shift a lot of energy for us. So we in
we,
turn have to look out for them.
we can learn a lot
You
from
know?
the animal kingdom about what is mine to do and what is theirs to do.
Mm,
Like,
right.
so,
And when enough is enough, and like,
yep,
calm it, calm it.
I'm pulling back. Like,
Right. Calm the hell
yes.
down. Right.
Cats have a
Totally.
really great way of boundary setting. And, when enough is enough, enough is enough. Okay. That's what I love about cats.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can learn from our animal friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
love,
so all
we
of this,
live
like
abroad.
relationships, it's
Hmm.
all about love, right? Paying attention to the love around you.
That's true.
We're here to hold the light. Like that is our big job right now, right? To hold the light, hold stability,
That's right.
maturity, sensibility, right? We're holding the light for goodness.
That's
Our
true.
pets are supporting that, and supporting us to do that as well. Our loved ones.
True.
We're trying to anchor in the love.
Yes, anchor in the love. And
Hmm.
we both live abroad. I have two adult sons that live in the States, which is really stressful, sometimes thinking about, but stressful just in the nature, not just because of the climate, but sometimes, being their mom and being here and they're there. But gosh, every time we talk, it's as if we never separated. They just, so yeah, even if you live apart, really just see about your family members. You'll light them up by having a conversation. You don't have to do it every week, once every other month. Now, I'm not talking about kids, I'm talking about a cousin, a grandparent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not talking about like your kids or, yeah, because then that'd be like, but it'll feel so good for your soul, their soul. And that's what we need too. That's a little bit of spirit medicine, heart medicine. That
Hmm.
really, as long as you're not paying up the wazoo for long distance charges, it's really like kind of free with cell phone service these days. So,
Right?
it,
It's amazing. Think about how, like, it used to be
yeah,
a big deal. Like, I remember my elderly relatives, wouldn't stay on the phone more than like 10
yes,
minutes because it was
that's
expensive, right?
super
But they would
expensive.
call to check in, but like on and off.
That's true. Now
Now
in
we can,
technology,
so just keep shooting those little texts, check
yeah,
in. I keep saying, I'm here if you want to chat, just let me know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's good.
It is good.
Good, good, good.
Huh.
Okay, so that brings us to number 5. We are just going through our list here, Kim.
Yes, we are
So
hitting all
number
the points.
5 is your spiritual connection, right? Last but certainly not least. And obviously, we've been talking about that throughout. We've been weaving in just
Yes.
how vital that is right now. How that is, it's it's everything, right?
Hmm.
It's just everything. We don't want to lose sight of that right now, no
True.
matter what's gonna be unfolding
Right.
for all of us, right?
Right. Hmm.
We again, this speaks to playing your part, knowing that, being clear that you are a person who is on a spiritual path, who has chosen to do this work in this
Hmm.
lifetime.
Hmm.
Whether you identify as that out in the world, or whether that's something, that you keep private to yourself, doesn't really matter, because it's in your energy signature. And so anybody that knows you, they know your energy, and they're going to be looking to you more and more, like I was talking about in the beginning, right?
Hmm.
Whether they use the vocabulary that we use about reading the energy of the room or the home or the person, like people are
Her
going to be
vibe.
the
Yeah.
vibe, right? I love
Yes.
that the word I love that more and more. Like the word vibe is in, like, common speak these days.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
you can use that word and you don't even get looked at like you're a hippie freak. It's just sort of like, because young people are making it's a word, it's legit, and the young people are using it. And so the
Yep,
older generations are having to get on board with it, which I love that, right?
me too. Me too.
But like your vibe is everything, whether you're in the spiritual closet or out of the spiritual closet, whether people know you work with cards or you have crystals or anything else, people are going to be looking to your energy, right? So that's what we're talking about. All of that is getting real
Yeah.
serious about that, acknowledging that, tending it first
Yes.
and foremost for yourself, prioritizing like what's most important for you right now in terms of your spiritual practice. Make yourself a little checklist if you have to, a little post-its around. What are your top, just three? Like pick three, what's
True.
three things? Like if I was going to say three things off the top of my head right now, I would say grounding, I would
Hmm.
say breathing, and I would say my nervous system. Like
Hmm.
that. I have to do
Hmm.
minimum every day, that I have to make sure I'm tending to that. How about
That's
you?
right. For
What's your
me,
top three?
meditation, in setting intentions. If I don't meditate, number one, setting intentions, and I would say number three. Hmm, number three. What would I say that would be? I don't know. I know I got number two. Setting
Yeah,
into
it's
if I
okay.
don't, yeah, if I it used to be a lot more complex, my spiritual practice. It would be 5 items. Right now, it's pared down. It's just that's all I
Hmm.
can muster. I have time for. Um, but those two things, if I don't do them, or if I feel like the rest of my day is off. It's just off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping that my routine of doing walks again. That's when my shoes are at the postal service. I got to go pick them up tomorrow. I got my walking shoes. That is a part of my spiritual practice when I was in the States. I would do like mindfulness walks and just, be out in nature in California when I was living there. So I want to do that here. Um, so that would be number three. So yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, walking is so great. I can't wait until it's just got to warm up a little bit for me to be walking. But like,
Yeah.
I think
Yikes.
after the winter we've had here, I don't think I'll ever take for granted again the ability to just go take a nice walk, right? Like
Yikes.
I'm like, whoa,
It's true. I'm all saying, yeah, take a walk. It's 80
yeah.
degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Oh, you got no excuse. No, we always
So
come up with an excuse, but yeah.
yes. So yeah. But it's cold and rainy in California right now, where I'm from, Northern California. So super cold and rainy for out there. Not 7 degrees, but certainly would be walking in the rain like that. So you may
Nice.
make, but you see, our
Yeah.
spiritual practices are nothing that's like, oh, okay, I'm going to bust out and read a spiritual text from cover to cover or do these elaborate spiritual rituals. You certainly can. That could be part of your practice. Maybe you work with vision boards or visioning, um, or chanting or mantras, whatever it is, but it can be as minimal time involved or maximum. I just know most of us are busy, full days, so you want to tap in and stay with your spirituality, I say daily. But don't make it complicated where you're not going to want to do it. Like exercising, don't get the routine like where you're like doing too much too soon and then you don't want to do it anymore because it's too much too soon. So keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Definitely keep it simple. Just remember to touch base with it, to acknowledge how important that is. And the other thing I would say about the whole spiritual dimension of these times right now, right, which is the whole
Hmm.
point of this topic today, this live stream, is let's not underestimate the importance of the spiritual dimension of what's happening, what's unfolding right now in the U.S. To me, it's all about that. it may not be spoken about, right? It's being
Mm-hmm.
languaged as political and, parties and,
All
all the,
spiritual.
but it's all spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spiritual awakening that's happening, spiritual crises. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's spiritual. I could use some other adjectives. I mean, I'm tempted to say moral, but it
Yeah.
is just, it's spiritual. We're waking up to the fundamentals of what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to
Yeah.
be human? What are our priorities?
Yeah.
What? And
Yeah.
we're all learning that together. We're all learning that together, and
It's true.
I just keep hearing and sensing and feeling that the real work to be done here, there's going to be a lot of forgiveness work that needs to be done all around the circle. Like,
Well,
a lot of humbleness, right?
yeah.
When we
Yeah.
say all hands, when I say all hands on deck, I mean it, because we want everybody. We're trying to, the circle is just all broken and messed up, but we got to all come back into the circle. And to
Yeah.
get there, it's going to require a lot of work, and it's going to require people like us with our skills, our particular sensitive wiring,
True.
our deep empathy, our ability to love and to feel and to relate to people and to be a non-judgment zone, like Kim was saying, right? To
Mm-hmm.
hold
Mm-hmm.
space for people, like who
Yeah.
we are and what the goods we have, what we do, like it is so needed right now. It's
It really
everything about
is.
what we're going through.
And I
It's
really hope
everything.
it is everything. It touches everything. And I hope it isn't like those situations where, you know how, like, when a catastrophe happens and everybody's political, like, affiliations goes out the window, you're all surviving, you're doing the best you can, you're friends with your neighbors again, you're just grateful to see them alive. I hope it doesn't have to go to that, but that I want that similar vibe if you've ever been in a natural, like, situation, like a disaster. Like, for me, it was the 1989 earthquake or Hurricane Fiona or whatever. But I remember that time of, like, everybody coming together. It didn't matter what was going on, outside of our catastrophe. We in this together, and we are, what is mine to do? How do I show up and help? How, even if it's just, keeping somebody company while they're doing something else. It just, that's what I'm hoping. But we get to show people and demonstrate that in our
Hmm.
little community. We can start with us and how we do and how we show up, and it has a ripple effect. Yeah, we're going to be called to do more in our world, of course. We will, however you want to show up. But the bare minimum, I think a lot of people can learn a lot from how we all engage and interact with one another. And hopefully it doesn't take a catastrophe, God, for us to, like, get over ourselves and come together for, to confront some heavy stuff that's coming down the pipe. So
Yeah,
that's all I
for
gotta say. I know
sure.
it's kind of doom and gloom, but it's the only way I could, like, describe that feeling of, like, when you all come together,
Yeah,
after moments
yeah,
or like days, and, like, people are like, "Oh my God, you're alive, you're great." It's just, I don't want it to have to come to something like that.
yeah.
So,
We've got a couple of our friends here in the chat, and oh, I'm so glad you guys are still here. I'm so sorry. Donna's still here, Donna Riedler, and
hey, Doc.
Lila's just joined us. Tapestry of the Unseen is here. Thank you guys for coming. We've been so deep in our talk. I didn't mean to ignore you. I was glancing over, and for the
Yes,
last 5-10 minutes, I was wondering, yeah, if like my chat wasn't working or something. So thanks for being here.
yeah.
So I just want to check in a little bit. So Donna's saying, she's talking about how anxious she's been feeling lately, but
Hmm.
always better when she's with her tarot peeps, which is
Yes.
so sweet.
Please.
And totally, I don't, me too. Like, that's why we're here. That's literally why I'm here. I'm just trying to give back because I've been on tarot tube for years now, and I've received so much from
Me
hanging out with
too.
people, being on people's lives, watching your recorded videos. So I'm just
Yes.
trying to return the favor. So I
Me
totally
too.
relate with that.
Yes. You all just inspire me. I feel so good being around y'all. So I want to give up. I want to give back. I want to
Yeah.
give back. Yeah.
And she's
Oh.
also saying this, I should know how to put this. I don't know if I tap it. There we go. Here's
Mhm.
Donna's other comment. Moment is harder for me than a natural
It is
disaster.
hard. I know. That's the added layer of like, I don't know if we gonna have. I'm like, I don't want it to take a natural. I know what you mean, Donna. Are and I don't want it to take a disaster for us to have to come together, but there is a lot of forgiveness work that I don't think I'm prepared to do either. To be wholly like, yes, I'm still angry if I'm being perfectly honest. And it's best that I am out here versus in California. I don't know how I would be. I'm still angry right now. So I'm trying to move through that emotion around
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah, I go in and out of that myself too.
yeah.
But
And
we're
and
gonna
sadness, yeah,
do the
right?
best we
And
can.
grieving. Yeah.
Definitely, there's definitely sadness. I emailed this to Kim yesterday. Here's one of the cards I drew. Oh wow, my lighting's funky here. Let me move this. See if I can show this to you. This is from the Empath's Oracle. It says sitting with sadness. I drew this yesterday, getting ready for our show. I think that's part of our work to do as well, right? Is to
Yeah.
just sort of acknowledge that there's it's a sad time in a lot of ways.
True.
And you know,
Hmm.
we can hang out with that and
Yeah.
help others with that because there's people are getting afraid. There's a lot of fear brewing. We're not sure what all is going to go down. But underneath all that, I think there's deep sadness that
Yeah.
may need to be acknowledged. We may be called to help people with that. Just it's sad. It's too bad that it had to come to this. And I think the world really feels that for the US right now. They're looking for us to get it together. We don't realize how much a lot of countries look up to us. They count on
True.
us to,
We need to be,
yeah.
yeah, I wish we could be more unified. And the
So
chasm is so deep. It's just, yeah, I don't know. And it's hard, because as a reader, all in the midst of all of this going on, I have to then, like, if someone is working with me for a love reading, and it's like, okay, I have to stay centered and be able to show up, but sometimes I can't, and I have to take the night off because I'm so keyed up. And so to that, and that's why lately I've been hermiting, where I've had to limit how much I watch on YouTube and social media and the news, and just because otherwise I won't show up for the very thing I love to do, which is helping people through cartomancy. So yeah,
yeah,
bummer. But I'm learning and growing, we all
right.
are trying
And
to
we all
figure
are.
it out.
That's what we have to remember. We really all are learning and growing. I have to remind myself of this a lot too, because I can get on my little high horse and think I know what's going on and what's the right answer and stuff. But I think we all have to come back to, neutrality, just the
Yeah,
sense of humanity, right?
true.
And of holding sacred space for people,
Holding
just
sacred space.
knowing this is a tricky time. This is a tricky time. There's a lot going on. The astrology, I'm not an astrologer, but I follow a lot of astrology. And, this is an intense time. The astrologers have been talking about it for years. This whole year
Hmm.
looks to be like a very
Yeah, they
intense
have.
year. It's not, particularly this month. So, you know, just kind of holding all that and trying to just hold that and somehow be neutral in the, neutral when you're with others. You can have your own opinions and,
True.
but just try to hold, like, kind of hold it all,
Yeah.
just hold it all in there, show
Yeah.
up. So,
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
so
Yeah.
that's all. Just that little thing. That's all we've got to do. It's a
That
lot.
little thing. Oh my god.
It's a lot, you guys. So just acknowledging that it's a lot,
Yeah, it's
showing up,
true.
reaching out to people that get that, understand
Yes.
your perspective on things, taking breaks when you need to.
Yes. Reach out when you need to. it's, you don't have to toil things alone or have to, you know, it's okay. We all need to feel comfortable with supporting one another, and get used to that. It's somehow, some way we kind of gotten away from that, but let's get used to it. Let's normalize that. Hey, I don't want to take up, too much of your time, but I can't believe this is happening. Yeah, I feel you, and then people have a little
Yeah.
discourse about that, it's
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I
So we're
love getting,
looking at,
I hope you all leave comments too after you watch the replay of,
please do.
what we talked about today. That's another way of staying connected. It's in the comment section in the videos, because we love to commensurate there too.
Totally. One more thing, it just came to me today, prepping for this. I'm going to put out a little call since I see we got some regulars here. A year or two, I think it's more than a year ago, I started a tarot tag called Hold the Light Decks. And I'm feeling like, and it didn't get a lot of play. I didn't get a
Mhm.
lot of takers. I did a live with Gerald, Tarot Stash on
Oh,
that. But I'm just feeling like I want to bring that back. So if anybody is interested, go back in my archives, watch that. You'll see kind of the basic prompts that I have there. And
oh,
if anybody
cool.
wants to collaborate and do another live on that. So the questions are all about what decks would you what decks would you use for hold the light? 'Cause that is just what I keep hearing over and over and over. We gotta hold the light, hold the
Yeah.
light. So if anybody's
Yeah.
interested in that, let me know.
Sounds like an amazing time. Amazing time to be had. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
tag idea. Love it. Hold the
So
light. What decks? I'm already, my brain is like thinking, what decks do I
yeah,
have?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys, we're at just about an hour and a half. So thank you. Thank you, Kim, so much. I just
Yeah.
enjoy these cartomancy talks enormously with you. So
Oh,
thanks for
thank
joining me.
you. Thank you for having me. I enjoy these as well. We are looking forward to continuing our discussions, and stay tuned, friends. More to come.
More
More
to
to come.
come. Take
Yeah.
good care of yourselves, y'all.
Bye,
Bye for now.
friends.